Hello dear students, we will complete now paper 2 April 2023 together. Okay, let's see the first question. Okay, the question is about a small mammal that is called a shrew. Look at the pictures of a two shrew from the same species. You can observe that we have two different colors of a shrew, black and white. Each shrew has a different fur color according to their according to their genes. Okay, so here we are talking about the genetic variation. So they do have a different fur color according to the genes that they hold, according to the genes that they inherit from their parents. Fur color is controlled by the genes. Write down the name of the chemical that make up genes. For sure, it's the DNA. Okay? Here. Eagles feed on shrews. Scientists sample the population of shrews living on a ground that is dark. So here, the ground is very dark. And remember, we have two shrews, one black and one white. The diagram shows the population of a shrew over 2 years. The population of shrews of year 3 is not shown. So we have to predict it. An eagle feeds on a shrew during year 2 and 3. Let's see here the diagram. Okay, so in year number 1, as you can see here, we have only one black shrew and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 white shrews. And remember, the ground is dark. So think about it, which one is more obvious, the black shrew or the white shrew? For sure, the white shrew are more obvious. Now, the black one, okay, the predator can't see it. Why? Because it has the same color like the ground, dark and dark. But the white, it will be more obvious for the predator. So let's see what will happen in year 2. Here we have the eagle, which is the predator, and here we have the shrew, which are the prey. What do you think? Which one will be eaten more? The black one or the white one? For sure, the white one will be eaten more. So that's why the number of the white shrew decreased in year number 2. Here we have 4 shrews, but here we only have 3 shrews. And here we only have 1 shrew, 1 black shrew, but here we have 2 black shrew. Why? They won't be eaten by the eagle. They will able to grow, they will able to breed and to reproduce more offsprings. What will happen to the white shrew? They will be eaten more by the eagle. Okay, so in year 3, we will predict to see more black shrew or white shrew. For sure, black shrew, because it won't be eaten by the predator, it won't be eaten by the eagle, so they will be able to grow, to survive more, and to reproduce more offsprings. So in the next generation, we will see more black shrews if we want to compare it with the white one. Why? Because the white shrew, they are more obvious for the eagle, they will be eaten more, and so in the future, in next generation, we will expect that the white shrew will decrease in size. In the future, it may extinct, right? So, sorry. Okay. So the total population size of shrews is the same during all 3 years. Predict the number of a white shrew and the gray shrews in year 3. So they have the same number, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So in year 3, we expect to see 5 shrews. Okay, but we will expect to see more black shrews. So I will expect to see in year 3, 5 black shrews and 0 white shrew, or 4 black shrews and only 1 white shrew, because it will be eaten more by the eagle. Describe how a natural selection explains the change in the number of white and gray shrew. As I mentioned, fewer gray shrews eaten by the eagle. Gray shrews are more difficult to hunt because they are more difficult to see, because we have a dark ground. More gray shrews will reproduce. More gray shrews will breed in the future, will reproduce, and will survive more. Okay? The scientists had to trap and release the shrews to get their results. So now they are analyzing, okay? So they are doing an experiment, and each experiment we has to take a safety techniques, right? So write down 2 safety precautions that the scientists took when trapping and releasing the shrews. They have to wear gloves, right? They have to wear an eye protection. They have to wear a face mask. These are the safety precautions. So now, question number 3 in paper 2, April 2023. The table shows information about the pathway of a water into and out of the plant. Remember, the plant will take the water and the mineral it needs through the root health cell, which have a very large surface area to absorb more and more water. Then, this water will travel through a plant tissue that is called the xylem, then to the leaf stem, and then to the leaves. Where in the leaves? In something that is called stomata, right? Okay, so number 1 is the part where the water enters the plant. Think about it, enters the plant, so it's something related to the roots. Number 5 is the part where the water is lost, evaporated, transpiration process. Complete the table by writing number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to show the pathway of the water into and out of the plant. Let's see it together. Okay. So first of all, while talking about the pathway of the water, we are talking about the root. So we will start with the root hair cell, which have a very large surface area to absorb more and more water and mineral that the plant needs. And remember, the root hair cell, they are a long microscopic hair. And then it will go through the root tube, the root xylem. Later on, it will go through the stem xylem, okay? Then to the leaf xylem, and then to the leaf itself, where the evaporation will take place. Plants lose water from the surface of their leaf. What do we call this process? We call it transpiration process, where the water loss from the plant, from the leaf of the plant, from the stoma, we call it transpiration. Okay, a desert plant grows well due to its very waxy leaf. While talking about a waxy leaf, we are talking about a type of leaf that prevents the water loss. High carbon dioxide level reduce wax production. Okay? In these plants, cars produce more carbon dioxide. Suggest what happens to the population of these desert plant growing a new road. If we have a new road, so we will have more cars. If we have more cars, we will have more carbon dioxide. It means the wax production will be less. So we will have less water in the leaf because the wax prevent the water loss. So suggest what happened to the population of these desert plants growing near a new road. Reduce the population. These plants will reduce in number. Why? Because less wax production, okay, the water will be less in the leaf, so these plants won't be able to survive or to grow in size. So that's why reduce population size. So now let's solve question number 5, paper 2, 2023. Here we have to look at the diagram of a carbon cycle. So while talking about the carbon cycle, we are talking about a series of processes that the carbon will move from a living organism to the surrounding environment, to the physical environment that surrounds us. To start with, we have to analyze this diagram, okay? So here we have a plant, and this plant, as we can see, it takes the sunlight, it takes the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So we will predict that this plant is undergo a photosynthesis. So this process is a photosynthesis, and this plant will produce glucose and oxygen. Okay, so we can see here we have a cow, and this cow, it's eating what? The grass. So it's feeding, right? So it's taking food. Okay, and remember, every single cell in the living body needs glucose to work. How the glucose will be breaking down in the living organism by a process that is called the respiration. So when we eat the food, the glucose particle will be broken down by the use of oxygen in a process that is called respiration. And remember, in respiration, your body will break down the glucose particle by the use of oxygen to release water, carbon dioxide, and energy. Okay? So when a living organism take a food, eat a food, now respiration will take place. Respiration will take place. What does that mean? The glucose particle will be broken down by the use of oxygen to release carbon dioxide and water. So now the cow body will produce what? Carbon dioxide to the atmosphere in a process that is called respiration. Here, whenever you see dead bodies, dead plants or dead animals, so here we are talking about microorganisms. We are talking about a bacteria, a fungi that break down the dead bodies of plants or animal. This process is called decomposition. Okay? Decomposition, dead bodies. While talking about a fossil fuels burning, we are talking about combustion. Now, we analyze the diagram. We understand what is the diagram, what are the processes in the carbon cycle. Now we will start solving the questions. Write down the name of a process A. We just mentioned that it's a respiration. When a living organism take a food, your body or the animal body or the living organism body will break down the glucose particle by the use of oxygen, okay, to release the carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. Write down the name of a process B, where the plant takes the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, where the plant takes the sunlight. This process is called photosynthesis. Write down one similarity between combustion and decomposition. What do you think? The decomposition will break down the dead bodies of plants and animals to produce carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. Combustion, it's the burning process to produce carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. So both of them produce carbon dioxide back to the atmosphere. Scientists believe that too much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere causes climate change, for sure. Remember, in the past, the earth was totally covered with ice, and we call this glaciation. The percent of the carbon dioxide in past, it was very low. So the temperature, it was extremely low. So that's why the earth was totally covered with ice. But nowadays, the earth is suffering from a global warming. The carbon dioxide is increasing. So the temperature is increasing. So that's why we have many effects of the climate change. The glaciers melt, sea level rise. We are suffering from sea level rising, global warming, a very high temperature, okay, drought. Let's complete question 9, paper 2, 2023. Scientists estimate 1 million species of a plant and animal are at risk of extinction. Which factors cause a species to become extinct? We have to think about it. We have now to tick the two correct factors. Change in a season? What do you think? If we change from a winter to summer, the species will extinct? For sure, no. Change to the environment over time? For sure, yes. Why? Because these species won't adapt to the new environmental change, won't adapt to the new conditions. So that's why they will die. They won't be able to survive. So in the future, they may extinct. Increased reproduction? Why? If the reproduction increased, the number of population will increase, right? So for sure, no. New diseases? For sure, yes. Because the disease may kill this species. So the number of the species, the number of organisms from this species will decrease. So it may extinct. New food sources? For sure no. If they will eat more, they will grow more, they will able to survive, they will able to breed in the future and to produce more offsprings. So new diseases that may kill these organisms or change to the environment over time because they won't be able to adapt to the new environmental change, to the new conditions. So that's why they won't be able to survive, they will die, and they may extinct in the future. Okay. Explain what is meant by this statement. An animal is at risk of extinction. It's idea about the death rate and the reproduction rate. An idea of extinction, so it means the number of the death or the death rate is more than the reproduction rate. Because if the reproduction rate equals the death rate, nothing will happen, right? If the reproduction rate is more than the death rate, it's something, it's an advantage. Okay, but while talking about extinction, we are talking about the number will decrease in this population. So it means which one is more? The death rate is more or the reproduction rate is more? I'm talking about extinction. So the population number decreased a lot. So the number of death rate is more, is extremely high than the reproduction rate. So death rate greater than the reproduction rate. So that's why the animal is at risk of extinction. So now we will end up paper 2, April 2023. See you in the next papers. Good luck, study well and hard.